up in here. We're gonna come. We're talking about Kyrie Irving today. We're talking about Kyrie Irving. Let's flock up in here, y'all. Flock up in. Give everybody something to get up in here. I may do the live thing, so I don't know how many people come in here, but I'll give people a second. Topic today is Kyrie Irving. We're gonna talk about why he retired from basketball and the things that happened to lead him to retire from basketball. Alright, 45 seconds. That's long enough. Let's get started, man. What it is, what it do. It's your boy 3DS at 3DNYC on everything. All social media, you're looking at that way. And let's talk about Kyrie Irving. So, Kyrie Irving, basketball player for the Brooklyn Nets. He was suspended for posting a video of a movie called Hebrew something. I'm not exactly sure what the name was, but it was something about Hebrews and how the black people are the actual real Hebrews and Jewish peoples, and the people that were from Israel that the Bible was referring to the whole time. And all he did was share a video, for people to watch and come up with their own, opinion, and come up with their own, thoughts about the movie. That was all. And then he got suspended just for posting a movie. Y'all think about how big that is and what that means to his freedom of speech. Nowhere in his contract says that he can not post about religious things or political things or spiritual things or financial, economic, anything. And you see basketball players and athletes all discussing all kind of things online and posting all kind of things online. And it's just like, since Kanye West has some anti-Semitic comments that he made on Drink Champs, it's been like anybody who does anything like that and you're of color and you have some kind of pull, some kind of influence, you will be blackballed. You will be canceled. Basically. All he did was post a video, he reposted a movie that he saw, he watched, he liked, and he got suspended for it because of the nature of the video. If that don't tell you something, then he could wake up out there. He shared a video and got suspended. He didn't put anything, disrespectful to anybody in there. He just put a recommendation, basically, of a movie that y'all should watch and check out. Kyrie Irving is a very spiritual person. One of the best basketball players I see in the past, 10 years, 5-10 years. He's a great basketball player, and I don't want to say the Nets need him, but the Nets would do a whole lot good with him than without him. But it's just sad to see this happening to him. But I know that he's not sad about it because he feel like this is his calling. You know what I mean? And he's been suspended for other things, and he had to deal with it. And he kind of apologized, or he tried to make those things right the best way he could. But this time he wasn't going to stand for it, so he retired from basketball. He said, "You know what? I'm out. I'm out. They don't make no sense. They don't make any sense." He said that in order for him to get back with the NBA and with his team, he had to apologize to the community that he was talking about. I don't even want to say it, just in case I don't want to get flagged on YouTube things that I monetize. They're trying to flag my stuff or whatever, or tell me that stuff I've been posting was violent or language or whatever be the case, when it's hundreds of other people post the same video. But they said in order for him to get back into the NBA, he had to apologize to that community. He had to condemn the movie. He had to watch. He had to sit down with somebody and talk to them about, being anti-Semitic. He had to talk to somebody else about whether or not he understood that he was being anti-Semitic. Probably something about donating and community service or whatever the case, and all he did was to share a movie. This is sickening to our freedom of speech. They're trying to silence people and shut people up from speaking the truth, speaking facts, because what he was saying was, the movie they were posting, the thing they were talking about is true. The people who are, who the Bible who the Bible's talking about are black people. When they refer to, the people of God, that was chosen and, led from Egypt, through the desert, to find their holy land. People were black, It's just the fact of the matter, you know what I mean? And I'm not trying to bash anybody. I'm not trying to, say anything bad about anybody or anything like that. It's just the facts, and that's the thing about these days. It's like when you speak the truth, that you're being silenced, you're being canceled, you're being shut up. You know what I mean? Because that's how they want the books of history to go, to be written the way that they want it to be written, not what was actually true. They did their research. They know what the truth is, but they change the books and they change the history, and they try to put a couple things around so that they can take the credit, or they can be the main characters, or to be the ones that were chosen by God in the book. So I do your research on this stuff. This stuff is all available online on Google. Do your research on ancient history. The relics, the artifacts, the writings, the stories. All this stuff is history. And don't forget that Christianity, especially the King James Version, is one of the youngest religions in the world. The youngest. And actually, that religion and a couple other religions actually stem from another religion that was, being implemented and was being practiced thousands and thousands of years before our Bible was even picked up, or was even the first story was even written. So, and those stories about the Virgin Mary, Jesus, and the cross, and Son and Holy Spirit. It's all the same story. The story came from Africa. You know what I mean? And it was all interpreted by people in different ways. It was translated and it was flipped, by people in different ways. But just getting back to the main part of this live, man, was just, he got suspended just for just sharing a video that he recommended you to watch, just to learn from. And now he's retired from basketball, and you see people like LeBron James, Shaq, Shaquille O'Neal, and other people who make top dollar with these companies, who have owners and people on the board that are of certain descent, so to speak. They're not going for it. You know what I mean? They're not going for it, and they're not going to sit there and just and try to take his side when they know that he's right, because they don't want to put their money in jeopardy. They don't want to put their legacy in jeopardy. But sometimes you got to stand up for something. What are you just going to keep playing basketball, or keep working for these companies, people that's keeping you oppressed, keeping you silent, and making you say and do certain things when you know that ain't right? You're going to do all that just because of money? Sometimes, money doesn't equate to having a good night's sleep, and knowing that you did the right thing, or you said the right thing. I'd like to sit there and watch them just hang your brother like that. Y'all gonna sit there and just watch him bash him like that, and just cancel him and shut him down like that? Y'all gonna watch this stuff happen off from him sharing a movie? I'm talking to LeBron James, Shaq, anybody else who was, trying to say, yo, well, I don't appreciate what he said, I don't appreciate hate speech. He didn't say nothing hateful, he didn't say nothing. Share the movie that he recommended, that he watched. People can look at it and make your own interpretation and get your own conclusion from the movie. If you watch it, if you don't agree with it, that's that. If you do agree with it, that's that too. But at least took that information and was able to form and make your own, analysis and conclusion from it. Y'all better pay attention out here what's going on in the world, man. They're trying to silence people. They're trying to shut people up when they talk about certain things that are sensitive, or that they are trying to, keep the way that it is in the history books, which is not accurate, we all know by now Christopher Columbus didn't discover America, you know, and a bunch of other things that we know are not true in the history books. So what you put it, just keep on teaching our kids false history? No. It's about time somebody, you know, stand up and do something, and I stand with them. I'm gonna start doing more research and trying to, you know, learn more about the subject, but I pretty know a little bit of the basis about it, and I kind of have an idea how it happened, but I'm gonna do some more research and I'm gonna get back on the top and I'm gonna cover it as best as I can without getting, you know, penalized or getting warnings or anything like that on YouTube. So it's crazy, man, how they did Kyrie. But you know, I'm glad to see he in good spirits. He remain as positive as possible, and then we feel like, you know, basketball maybe wasn't his calling. Maybe his calling was to do something bigger than just basketball. He's a great basketball player. Man, that guy, he had people breaking ankles out there, man. He's a great basketball player, but sometimes it's bigger than you. Your calling is bigger than you. Sometimes people don't know what that was immediately. You always know what your calling is immediately, or what, you know, you feel like you here, you know, put on this earth to do. You don't always get it, you know, when you turn 18 or when you graduate high school or college. You don't always get it. Sometimes you get it early, sometimes you get it midway, sometimes you get it towards the end of your life. But, you know, everybody should, any life should be looking, you know, to see what their calling is and see why they were put on this earth. Leave their legacy, to leave something behind, to do something that's going to make sure that, you know, when you leave this earth, that your kids and the future generations, you know, or have a level playing field, you know what I mean, or, you know what's really going on out in the world before you go. You gotta stand for something when you fall for nothing out here. I'm telling you, man. And I appreciate what he's doing. Kyrie Irving, I appreciate what you're doing out here. Making that sacrifice from all those millions, and, you know, in basketball in order to speak the truth. In order to not necessarily, you know, everybody has their own truth. In order to educate and teach people, you know what I mean, about certain things. And when you educate and teach people along the way, you learn things. Sometimes you may not be right. Sometimes you are right. You know, sometimes you're right, and people still want to, you know, go against that and say that you're not right when the fact's sitting right there in your face. So that's pretty much it. You know what I mean? I just want to go over how they just try to cancel him all from sharing a video. It's just crazy. I can't stress it enough. I cannot stress it enough how it's just a video can end your whole career, millions of dollars. You know, the impact that he had, you know, with the Brooklyn Nets. You know, what he brings to the table. And the powers above and the powers that be, they shut it down. But, you know, he has a higher calling. And he had a live today where he was basically saying that the people of our generation from 1981 to 1996, we gotta do better. We gotta start stepping up and teaching our kids to write history. We gotta start stepping up, teaching them how to eat better, how to think better. You know what I mean? How to, you know, be financially literate. You know, how to, you know, do those basic instructions before you leave Earth. You know, yeah. It's just sickening to me how they got him, and I stand with him. Regardless, it's his right to post what he wants to post. As long as it's not, you know, hate speech, you know what I mean? Posting a video about that he watched or something he learned is not hate speech. I also want to say that what Kanye said, I want to kind of say some of what he said is not necessarily hate speech. It's kind of harsh truth. You know what I mean? That people not ready to hear, because a lot of top companies are ran by people of, you know, that origin or of that following or religion, if you will. He's telling the truth. He said that, you know, these companies are run by ish people and this, that, and the third, and he's right. These television companies, these cable companies, these networks, these businesses, these sports companies are all ran by, you know, ish people. So He wasn't wrong. They just didn't like the fact that he said it. You know that he's such a strong figure. All coming in, and I'm gonna go ahead and leave it at that. Kyrie, we stand with you. I appreciate you putting your career on the line and do what you gotta do. Thank you. I'm gonna do my research, and I suggest y'all do the same thing. Do your research about what he was saying, and find out what you think about it for yourself. I know it's the truth already. You go do your research on what he posted and what he's talking about. An unbiased opinion, and find out for yourself. Appreciate everybody tuning into this live, man, to this video, man. Make sure y'all like, share, subscribe. Thank y'all for tuning in to the next one. It's your boy 3D BNYC.